You know what I've realized? Now that I've cut my hair, I've really just enjoyed waking up in the morning, brushing it, and then like leaving it. But ever since I've been going to these job interviews, I find myself reaching for a wig. And on my way back from another interview that I actually just literally just came from, I thought about why that is. Why am I reaching for wigs whenever I'm going for a job interview? Does that make me feel like I'm coming across as more professional looking? Or is it for the sake of ease? Like, what is that? And I just felt like that's just something that I need to think about, like food for thought. Anyways, cue my new intro. Boom. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Khalipha, keeping it real always on this side of YouTube. And for today's video, I wanted to just chat about my experience of looking for work, now that I'm finally finished with UCT. Yeah, I think we don't really talk about, especially us in the BA humanities stream, of looking for work and where can we look for work and what exactly should I be doing to up my chances of even reaching the interview stage. And so that's really just what I wanted to talk about in this video is, as somebody who's just finished and completed Bachelor of Arts honors, majoring in Industrial Sociology, like what's next? What am I supposed to do next? Like for work, what happens now? So without further ado, let's kick into the video. So I finished and submitted my thesis for my honors year on the 9th of November, and that was also literally the day where I was like, don't forget to start applying for work, which I started doing roughly like 2 days later. And I was looking, Twitter, I would look for the job Vine-Tree career portal, definitely making sure that my LinkedIn profile was up to speed and up to scratch and up to date, making sure that my PNet profile was also up to date. I've just been really like Googling Indeed, looking at various like websites on where I can actually start looking for work. But even before then, there's a process that I went through, which was actually just, first of all, let's just identify what exactly do I want to be doing next year. And I think, when it comes to the humanities, nobody really actually just says and shares how broad you actually can go into when it comes to work, right? I mean, if you just have like a law degree, there's broadness in the sense that you've got law and you've got all these different streams of law that you can go into. Engineering, there's a couple of streams that you can go into, your civil, mechanical, electrical. So when it comes to now Bachelor of Arts, the humanities, what are the streams that you can actually go into? And what I've been finding is that specifically for sociology and industrial sociology, I thought like, okay, that means customer service, customer relations, HR, which it does. Like I've been finding that actually there are a couple of positions that have opened up for me when it comes to your HR streams. But I've also been lucky enough to have some companies look into me for positions that are more along your junior digital media analyst, even recruitment consulting. I'm also looking at being like an online shop assistant. And so really when it comes to looking for work as a humanities student, I think number one, look at what you've learned during your time in varsity, during your undergrad humanities Bachelor of Arts degree, right? I know it's not like as theoretical, as concrete as saying I've got an engineering degree, therefore put me in engineering and ta-da, it will work out. I think with the humanities, you need to be like a little bit more smarter in how you sell yourself to companies and recruiters, because really that's what it's about. You're selling yourself and you're saying, hi, I've got all these talents, I've got all these skills, I'd like to sell myself to you, and this is how I'm going to do it. So really just think about what did you do in your undergrad within your humanities and your Bachelor of Arts degree that really will help you sell yourself. So number one that I've been finding is analyzing data specifically. I think for me, you know, not just the honest side of having to do a thesis, but also just your qualitative, quantitative, those research methods. Don't forget that that's a skill that you've actually started learning, which is just analyzing data. So think about all the little things, working in groups. I remember that you've worked in team environments, you've worked in those groups, and so you know how to be a team player. You know how to handle being delegated tasks. So put those down in your CV, is that, you know, you've got analyzing data, you know how to work in teams. I think with the humanities, we've had like a lot of readings. I mean, like, put your hands up, how many readings have you had to do during undergrad for your humanities degree, right? There's so many readings and so much summarizing. Don't forget, that's actually a skill. Now you know how to take big chunks of information, condense that and summarize that into something that still makes sense, that's quick and easy for anybody to understand. So that's another skill that you've learned. Yeah, so I think it's like really important just to go back and really just think about what it is that you've learned during your undergrad that you can actually put on your CV and help sell yourself. The second thing that I want to say that you should really start thinking about is looking at online job portals. So for all the interviews that I've been doing so far, all of them have found my CV because of LinkedIn, right? So I think it's really important that you work on ensuring that you've got a really up-to-date, nice, not snazzy looking, but I don't know how you can make your LinkedIn profile snazzy looking. This is, you can change colors and add pictures here and there, but I mean, just making it look professional and keeping it updated is really important. And so yeah, just be active on those online job portals. So that's your Jobvine, that is your LinkedIn, that's your PNet. I think those are the top 3 that I've personally been using, and so far LinkedIn has been incredible. It's been amazing. I've been finding all these really interesting jobs for me to apply for. I mean, I once even like applied for a junior sub-editor position. Who would have thought? But again, it goes back to tip number 1, which is looking at my skills. I know how to summarize, I know how to read. Writing, I mean, how many essays have you been writing during your undergrad, right? So you know the skill of writing, of summarizing big chunks of information. So don't forget about that. So thirdly, it's also just thinking outside of the box in terms of the things that you're applying for. Remember, again, humanities, you've been taught a lot of skills that can be pretty broad. So for me, I never thought that I'd be considered for a media analyst position, right? I mean, like, what? Me, a media analyst? But again, it goes back to knowing how to do research. It goes back to knowing how to conduct research. It goes back to knowing how to analyze data. So really think about the skills. Like, it goes back to the previous first tip, which is knowing your skills, knowing what you can do because you study humanities, and link that to the various different jobs that you find and you come across on LinkedIn, on PNet, on Jobvine. I wish, you know, sometimes I wish it was as easy and as simple as clicking in industrial sociology jobs and having a whole long list of companies that are looking for industrial sociologists, of places that I can send my CV to because they're looking for industrial sociologists. But there isn't. It's not as it's not as simple as being able to type industrial sociologist and finding a long list of jobs. So I've had to really tailor all the jobs that I look through according to the skills that I've learned during my humanities degree. So again, it really goes back to, remember, think of all the skills that you've learned in your undergrad, or if you've been doing postgrad. You've summarized, you know how to summarize data, you know how to analyze data, you know how to read up and write up reports. Yeah, so I think it's just really just being able to articulate your skills and your talents really, really nicely, then take that, polish up your CV, polish up your cover letter, then really make sure that you put yourself out there, you're really active on online job portals like your LinkedIn's, your PNets, your Jobvines, and then of course just not being afraid to just go for it, just apply. I mean, I never thought that I would actually even end up going to the second round of being a junior media analyst if I had not just been out my comfort zone, went out the box and just said, let me apply for it. So yeah, I hope those were helpful. I really hope, you know, that you don't get discouraged. I think for me, none of the jobs have ended up in me being a third and final interview. I'm still in that phase of just looking and hoping and crossing fingers that before I leave Cape Town, I leave knowing exactly what's happening. So I'm still in that process of, I don't know, it's just crossing fingers, praying and hoping that God's gonna come through with a job. But don't be discouraged. You know, with my dad just chatting, he was always worried that, what are you gonna do with this degree? I mean, you're gonna have it. It's lovely to have on your CV. It's lovely to have to your name and honors in industrial sociology. But what's that gonna do for you? Where is that gonna take you? So don't be discouraged, you know, by those things of, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea what's gonna happen now. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep applying. Really, even if you feel like, I don't know if I actually qualify for this job. Just do it, okay? Just do it. I mean, I'm just saying, Donald Trump is a businessman and there he is. He's the leader of the free world. I'm just saying. So anyways, I hope that video was incredibly helpful. If not helpful, then motivational or inspiring in some way. Don't give up, okay? I'm telling you, as BA humanities students, we gotta stick together in some way. And I'm telling you, work is out there for us. It's just knowing how to market yourself in such a way that recruiters and employers are like, actually, you know what, this person's qualified, we want to hire you. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then do give it a thumbs up, okay? Do the same thing for the subscribe button. Go ahead, hit it, clap it, smack it, dance around it, do whatever you need to do to it, but just hit that subscribe button, okay, because it's free. And I guess I will see you on my next video. From me to you, let's keep it real always. Mwah. Oh, and you know what, like, it was this wig specifically, like, it's synthetic and I'm just like, it's the botched wig and I need to get rid of it. Like, what wig leaves gaps like that? Seriously.